Money is a funny thing, it numbs the nerves at first. You tell yourself the smoke and ruins are just tactical necessities. Then you tell yourself the people running away are combatant sympathizers. But then the Duke stops using the fancy words. He just starts handing out coordinates and telling Jax to bring the fire. This is where the blue and gold started to flake off, and the rust underneath began to show. The orders came down on a cold digital screen, the ugliest math that I'd ever seen. Target the power, target the heat, leave them with nothing but dust on the street. Jax looked at the map and he looked at his hand, then he marched that Warhammer across the green land. He wasn't hunting giants or lions of old, he was hunting the families who wouldn't be sold. I sat in the freedom, the monitor's humming, listening to the sound of the thunder, a comet. Every pulse of the laser, every crack of the shell was a brick in the wall of a high-tech hell. Remember a moon called Sunder's Grace, where the Duke wanted every last brick in its place. But the people were stubborn, they wouldn't bow down, so he told Jax to level the center of town. I saw the thermal vision, the white and the red, the living turned into the ghosts of the dead. Jax didn't say copy, he didn't say no, he just let the PPCs flicker and glow. I was Magnolia, the one who kept it all tight, providing the power for the murder that night. I checked the heat sinks, I checked the load, while a piece of my spirit blew up on the road. Oh, we're singing the Scorched blues tonight by the glow of the city that's burning so bright. The Duke is a master of the ash and the coal, and we're just the ones who are paying the toll. My younger self, she was starting to choke on the smell of the dreams that were going up in smoke. When the mission was through, and he wouldn't look at me, and he wouldn't look at you. He climbed out of the hatch with a face like a mask, not even waiting for the questions I'd ask. The Warhammer was scorched, the blue paint was gone, replaced by the soot of a world that's dawn. I'd spray down my legs with a high pressure hose and watch the black water run down to his toes. It's just business, he'd whisper, his voice like a stone, while he sat in the corner completely alone. But business don't scream when you turn on the light, and business don't haunt you in the middle of the night. We weren't the heroes we dreamed we could be. We were just the sharks in a blood-red sea. Halloway's fortune was piled to the sky, built on a mountain of reason and why. I looked in the mirror and I didn't see Mags. I saw a Scavenger queen in her fine silken rags. Jax was the hammer and I was the flame, and nobody else was to take all the blame. We were mercenary legends, the best in the trade, while we lived in the dark of the ruin we'd made. The Duke called it efficiency, I called it a massacre. We had millions in the bank, the freedom was the envy of the sector, and we couldn't look each other in the eye for more than a second. We were drowning in gold, and the only thing colder than the void outside was the man sitting across from me at dinner. Then came Acheron's arrest, and the scorched earth finally hit home.